caught my sister raiding my son's records. So I filed an ethics report at her agency, pulled smart lock logs, froze a pending bank transfer, and used doorbell video plus a Wi-Fi report tagged Zareen office PC, and signed a no-contact deal, and walked away from the will forever I'm a elevator safety inspector. 42. I ride service lifts, open machine rooms, and test brakes with heavy weights. I trust what holds people up when nobody is watching. Our place sits in a quiet suburb outside St. Louis, the kind with trimmed hedges and slow traffic. Inside, there is a scuffed oak coffee table, a row of shoes by the heater vent, and a fridge covered in my son's magnet art. My wife, Lena, keeps a tiny cactus garden on the kitchen sill like it is a job. Lena is 40 and works as a charge nurse in a rehab hospital. Her badge rules are strict, and her job runs on trust. Our son, Idris, was 12 that year, all elbows and questions and half-finished model planes on his desk. My sister Zareen never liked Lena, not from the start. At first it was small, like calling her your friend instead of your wife. Then it turned into smiles with sharp edges at every family meal. Zareen could slice a person without raising her voice. She also never accepted Idris as mine. Idris is my son from a past relationship, and I have raised him since he was 3. Zareen used that fact like a rock in her pocket, something to throw when nobody else was looking. She would hand gifts to my cousin's kids and say she forgot Idris was there. For months I tried to keep peace. I showed up anyway, even when my stomach tightened as we parked. I kept my voice calm and told Lena, "We can leave if it gets weird." Lena would nod and press her fingers to my arm like she was holding me steady. In public, Zareen played the perfect daughter. She brought my parents groceries, posted smiling photos, and hugged my mom for the cameras. In private, she turned family gatherings into little courts where Lena had to stand trial. The rest of the room would go quiet, and Zareen would speak like she was doing a favor. The first real cut happened at my dad's retirement dinner at a small hall near the river. Zareen stood up to toast and called Lena a temporary chapter. People laughed because they did not know what else to do. Idris stared down at his plate like it was a safe place to hide. After that, Zareen started pushing my parents to exclude us. "It's awkward for your friends," she told my mom. "People talk when you bring the nurse and the kid who isn't really family." My mom would get flustered and say, "Zareen, stop." But she never stopped it. Then the money talk began. Zareen called me one Tuesday and said she needed cash for family needs. She wanted $10,000 fast, and she wanted my house key so she could stop by if Mom needed something. She said it like she was the manager and I was the employee. When I said no, she brought up the will. "Mom and Dad are reviewing everything," she told me. "They want to reward the children who show up." She said my name slow, like a warning. "Do you want Idris left out because you're stubborn?" I tried the respectful talk. I met Zareen for coffee and asked her to stop humiliating Lena and to treat Idris with basic kindness. Zareen smiled and stirred her drink like she was bored. "You married trouble," she said, "and you adopted more trouble. That's your choice, not ours." The inciting message hit on a Thursday afternoon in a courthouse parking garage. I had just finished an inspection on a brand new elevator that smelled like fresh paint and hot wires. As I walked toward my truck, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. It was a link and 4 words, "You should see this." I opened it in my cab with the doors locked. A video started, shot from a phone, shaky and fast. It showed my living room, my scuffed oak table, Idris's blue hoodie on the couch arm. Then Zareen stepped into view, carrying a tote bag, and went straight to the drawer where we keep paperwork. The next clip showed her in our home office with my file box open. She held up folders to the camera like prizes. I saw labels in my own handwriting: mortgage, Idris school, Lena work. Zareen laughed softly and said, "This is going to make things easy." My hands went cold around the phone. I watched her pull out our spare checkbook and flip through it. I watched her photograph Lena's hospital badge that Lena sometimes dropped into the bowl by the door. I watched her open Idris's bedroom door and pan the camera across his posters, like she was collecting proof that he existed. When I got home, Lena was at the sink washing strawberries for Idris's celebration dinner. Idris had just won second place at a middle school robotics event, and we were doing a small backyard night with paper lanterns. I told Lena we needed to talk, and I showed her the video. Her face went pale, then hard. Idris came in and saw the look on our faces. He looked from me to Lena and then to my phone. He did not ask what the video was because he already knew it would be family. He swallowed and said, "Dad, why do we keep going where Mom has to act smaller to survive?" That line stuck in my throat like a screw. It was short, but it carried months of watching. Idris had noticed every forgotten gift and every joke that landed on Lena's chest. I pulled him close and promised him something I meant. That night, I did not sleep. I sat at the kitchen table with the cactus shadows on the wall and replayed the video. Then the bank alert from earlier made sense in a new way. Someone had tried to add a new payee to my credit union account under a nickname I did not recognize. At 11:30 p.m., I called a lawyer whose number a coworker had slipped me once. His name was Haverson and his voice sounded like gravel under calm water. He told me to meet him at a late-night diner near the freight tracks. "Bring the phone," he said, "and bring your patience." Haverson was older, maybe late 60s, with silver hair and a tie that looked like it had seen wars. He listened without interrupting while I explained Zareen, the will pressure, the video. Then he folded his hands and said, "You do not win by shouting. You win by stacking clean proof." He told me to separate proof into 3 piles. Money, movement, messages, he said, and one piece that ends the debate. He also told me to stop letting Zareen touch my life like it was a tool bench. Within 24 hours, I started pulling threads. For money proof, I logged into my credit union and found a pending transfer setup for $4,800 to a new external account. The payee name was a shortened version of Zareen's full name. I printed the page, called the bank, and froze transfers. Then I checked my mortgage portal. The new contact was a third-party authorization, and the email on it was Zareen's work address. It meant someone could ask questions about my loan like they had a right. I took screenshots and saved them to a drive Haverson told me to make. For location proof, I opened our smart lock history. Zareen had entered our front door twice the week before, both during times Lena and I were at Idris's soccer practice. I matched the timestamps to my phone's location record showing I was across town. Then I pulled doorbell camera clips and saw Zareen leave with her tote bag heavy. For communication proof, I searched the family group chat. Zareen had been dropping hints for months, always wrapping them in fake concern. "Lena seems stressed. Is she safe around patients?" she wrote once. "Idris might need a stricter home. Have you noticed his grades?" she wrote another time. I exported the chat thread and saved it. Haverson suggested I use a professional to lock down my digital life. A tech auditor named Celso came over with a small toolkit and a calm face. He checked our Wi-Fi logs, our shared cloud, and our home security app. "Someone logged into your cameras from a desktop," he said, "not from your phone." That was the killer receipt. The security app showed a device name and a login time, and it was tagged to an IP address owned by Zareen's employer. The device name was not subtle either. It read Zareen Office PC. Celso printed the report and signed it, like he knew it needed to stand up in a real room. Once the proof was stacked, I moved to control. I changed every code, every password, every recovery email. I replaced the smart lock cylinder and gave my parents no spare key, which hurt but had to happen. I moved our paper files into a safe deposit box at a branch across town. I also did one thing that felt like pulling a plug. I updated my life insurance and beneficiary forms so no one in my birth family could touch them if I died. I did it quietly, with Lena beside me, while Idris built a model plane at the table. The confrontation came at my parents' house on a Sunday afternoon. Zareen was there, wearing a soft sweater and the face she used for church friends. She had a tray of pastries and a story ready, like always. I waited until everyone sat down, then I set a thin binder on the coffee table. I did not yell. I opened to the bank pages first and slid them toward my dad. Then I showed my mom the mortgage portal screenshots with Zareen's work email attached. Finally, I played the doorbell clip of Zareen leaving my house with my documents. Zareen laughed once, like I was doing a skit. "You're overreacting," she said. I was helping Mom. Then I tapped the last page, the login history from her office device, and played the audio from the video where she said, "This is going to make things easy." Her smile fell apart. For a second she looked like a kid caught stealing, not a queen on a throne. My mom covered her mouth with her hand and my dad's shoulders sagged. Idris stood behind Lena silent, but his eyes did not drop this time. Zareen tried to pivot fast. She started crying and talking about family unity. She blamed Lena, then blamed stress, then blamed me for choosing outsiders. Halvorson had warned me about this, the storm people make when the floor drops. That week, I made the official report. Zareen worked for a state health licensing office, the kind that handles complaints and records. She had used her work access to log into my home security app and to try to pull strings with my mortgage and bank. Halvorson helped me send a clean packet to the agency ethics officer with Celso's signed report on top. The ethics officer, Miss Darnell, called me 2 days later. Her voice was polite but firm, like a door that clicks shut. She asked 3 questions, then requested the original files. I sent them and did not add extra words. I also took my binder to Uncle Jamil, the elder everyone listened to at our mosque. He was not loud, but his silence could shame a room. He read the pages, watched the clips, and then said, "A person who harms a child to win a will has already lost." He told my parents they needed to choose what kind of family they wanted to be seen as. Zareen did not back off. She tried one last strike, the social kind that stains you from a distance. Lena's hospital got an anonymous complaint saying Lena stole medication and that Idris was unsafe at home. The hospital put Lena on a brief review, and her face went gray when she came home with the letter. That was the moment the conflict stopped being a feud and became a threat. Lena sat on our couch and said, "I cannot keep building a life under your sister's shadow." Idris sat on the floor and quietly slid his model plane under the table like he was putting away hope. I held both truths at once and felt something inside me harden into a final shape. The legal climax happened in a plain conference room at Halvorson's office, with a mediator in the middle like a referee. My parents came, Zareen came, and Zareen brought her own lawyer. Miss Darnell's agency had already placed Zareen on leave pending the ethics review, and she looked smaller without her work badge. The mediator laid out the no-contact agreement in simple words. Zareen would not contact me, Lena, or Idris, and she would not come to our home or Idris's school. If she broke it, the police would treat it as trespass and harassment, not family drama. Zareen kept shaking her head like she could refuse gravity. Then my dad tried to bargain. "We can fix this," he said, staring at the table. "Zareen just needs help. And the will," he added, "we can still make it fair if you cooperate." It was the same old Hook, dressed up in a softer suit. Halvorson looked at me, and I knew this was the cliff edge. I could take the inheritance bait and keep a crack open for Zareen to crawl through, or I could seal the shaft and accept the cost. I asked for a pen. In front of everyone, I signed the no-contact agreement, and I signed a separate statement Halvorson had prepared. It said I would not ask my parents for money, property, or a place in any will now or later. I told them, "Keep it. Use it how you want. My son will not be a bargaining chip." Zareen made a sound like air leaving a tire. She stood up so fast her chair tipped back, and she started crying loud, not the tidy kind. "You're ruining me," she shouted, and for the first time the room did not rush to comfort her. The mediator waited calm while Zareen realized the old control tricks were dead. After the meeting, Lena accepted a job offer in Raleigh, 800 miles away. We tried long distance for a year, but the damage and the stress had bent us in ways love could not fully straighten. We divorced without screaming because we still respected each other. I paid support, I visited, and I never once told Idris he had to choose. 2 years after the conference room day, a message came to my work phone. It was from a blocked number, routed through a building permit office I sometimes dealt with. The text said, "Tell Idris I'm sorry, I'm family." I deleted it and showed Haverson, and he sent one short reply through the proper channel. No contact means no contact. 5 more years passed. I became a regional supervisor, training new inspectors and signing off on big projects downtown. I bought a smaller house in a quieter neighborhood, with a porch swing and a garage I kept neat on purpose. I learned to bake bread on weekends, the slow kind that rises when you let it. I also met someone new. Her name was Riona, and she worked as a soil scientist for the county, studying what stays stable and what shifts under rain. She listened more than she spoke, and she never tried to be the loudest person in the room. When I told her about Zareen, she said, "You protected the kid. That's the only scoreboard that matters." The last scene that stays with me is simple. Idris was 19 and home from his first year of college, taller than me now, with a steady voice. We sat at a small Lebanese restaurant near my new place, the kind with warm lights and quiet music, and Riona passed him the hummus like it was normal life. Idris looked at me and said, "Thanks for not letting them erase us." I nodded because I did not trust my throat. In my work, when a system shows a hidden failure, you do not argue with it. You lock it out and keep people safe, even if someone calls you cold. Thanks for watching until the end. Like, share, and subscribe, and take care of the people who ride with you.